welcome to Nerdgoblinart. I'm Lula. Right, these are my first Christmas trees. Well, in resin. I got those from Temu. I've already got my resin sorted, well mixed anyway, and I'm using Teexpert today. It's a 1-to-1 resin and it's a good one to use as well. So my plan, I'm going to be mixing dark green and lawn green Let's Resin mica powders, and once they're mixed I'm pouring them into the split cap, which is a cool idea, isn't it? So they'll be going into the bigger tree, and I've also got lights. It's the first time I'm attempting to put lights into resin. I've been putting it off, I don't know why, but I have. I got this diamond dust stuff, but I don't think it's the stuff that everybody uses in America, but we'll give it a try anyway. So I'm just moving this resin away. That resin is for the little tree, and the big tree will be getting the mica powders. So that's the dark green, and this is the lawn green. It's a lovely colour actually, lawn green. I've used it quite a few times and I'm starting to run low now. Right, this is, it says diamond dust, but it definitely doesn't look like the stuff that I've seen on other channels. But oh well, we'll give it a swirl. And I'm also going to put in diamond frost, which is quite a nice lovely glitter, and I've used it a few times now. So I'm going to play you some music while I get all this mixed in.
Footsteps crunch in the icy white, red noses glow in the frosty night. Fingers cold, can't feel a thing. Winter's by, our laughter sings. Streets are empty, snowflakes fall. Moonlight dances on the wall. Wind is howling, our cheeks blush. Cold and biting, but there's no rush. Home is calling, warm and bright. Cozy pajamas, a perfect sight. Movies play, cocoa in hand. Winter's magic will come on. Pavements glisten under streetlights. Bundled up, we're feeling just right. Scarves and mittens, woolen hats. Winter's spell as we chit-chat. Windows fog with every breath. In the cold we face our test, but thoughts of warmth guide us through. Hands held tight as against the blue. Home is calling, warm and bright. Cozy pajamas, a perfect sight. Movies play, cocoa in hand. Winter's magic will come on. Home is calling, warm and bright. Cozy pajamas, a perfect sight. Movies play, cocoa in hand. Winter's magic will come on.
So I decided to put some UV resin in the very tip of the tree to anchor the top of the lights. Is what I said, you know, quite simple. And I'm just making sure that I am using my UV torch on both the top and the bottom. So just feeding these lights in. And I'm keeping them on just so I know that they're working and when I start pouring things in that they're going to continue to work. So yeah, So spray of isopropyl alcohol, because I figured it would help. You know, it won't hurt, it shouldn't hurt the lights anyway. So now I'm going to pour the resins into my split cup. It's a really handy thing to have. They are available on places like Amazon, and you can get them from Temu. I'm pretty sure I've got another one somewhere which got like more slots on, but I can't remember where I put it. It doesn't matter anyway because I'm not using so many colours. I'm spraying some isopropyl alcohol again. I've not used my debubbler today. Figured that, you know, isopropyl alcohol and heat gun would suffice. And I do like, when I'm using a split cup, you can either pour just straight down, or I quite like giving it like a slight swirl. It seems to work well for me whenever I've used it. It's almost like a marbling effect. And I knew that wasn't going to be enough, so that's why I had plenty to the side ready to pop in. It's actually quite deceiving, this bigotry from Temu, of how much it actually does seem to take. But it's fine, I made it plenty anyway. And more spraying. And there we go. I'm using my heat gun, and it's very rare that I use the high setting. And obviously, I'm going to knock you over. Sorry about that. Making sure that I am not using the higher setting, and obviously because there's lights in there, I'm not going to be using a lighter today. And there we go. And so top that up. The only problem that came once I was pouring these, I was like, there's lights sticking out the bottom. Are they going to start trying to float up? So I thought I'll give them a poke, as you do. But obviously they wanted to come back up. And I was like, oh, if I rest my silicone stirrer there, it can act as like an anchor. It probably might have been possibly a better option to do something else, but this is what I did. As I said, these molds are from Temu. You could see on the bottom support, it's kind of bends a little bit, so be wary. You know, if you have got these and you have purchased from Temu, just be wary of that, because they are quite flimsy, and I nearly knocked it over several times because it's me and I'm clumsy like that. So yeah, make sure. So with the smaller tree, I want to use green alcohol ink from Let's Resin. I'm using lights again as well, and that other one is Starry Night, and it's like it's green Starry Night, and it's got like a bit of a shimmer to it, which is really nice. It gives a nice little effect. It almost gives excuse me, it almost gives a bit of a hue. You'll see anyway. It's a really nice colour, and as usual, always make sure that you shake up your inks, because you know pigment does like to sink to the bottom. Now the amount of resin in this cup, I dripped in about 12 drops of the ink, and the same with this Starry Night one, and I haven't actually used it yet, not this bottle anyway. So use the pen, not scissors, just to put in a bunch of that, and it's really pretty. Oh, I do love that stuff. It's so lovely. You can buy it from Amazon, and I think it comes in a set of 4, and there's a few different colours, like there's a purple one, a gold one, green, I can't remember the other. I was going to use that one, and then I remembered I had a more green, and that's number 5 from the non-sync glitter from Resin, and it is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. It just looks amazing in everything I've used. So that's pretty. I wish the camera would pick it up, you know, when what I'm looking at. So I'm like, oh, look, it's all so sparkly, it's all so pretty. So given that one, because I forgot to do it on the other tree. So I've sprayed that. I didn't spray the other big one until I'd already put the lights in. So this time I have sprayed the mould ready. And I'm not going to anchor this one down because it's smaller and I can condense them down like this. And I'll do the same thing. It seems to be working on the bigger tree, so I'll be using a silicone stick to make sure things aren't bobbing up everywhere. And just to make sure, some isopropyl again to go over the lights. And yeah, make sure they work. And you know, and always make sure you pull the little tag out, you know. So you see there, they don't work, and then pull the tag out. So bottoms up, in we go. I think it's going to be really nice. I don't know why I was putting off using lights in resin. I've been seeing other people use it for the longest time, and I don't know why. I've had these fairy lights forever. Just sitting there waiting, and I just I don't know. So maybe I was just like waiting for this time of year, the approaching time of year, and like, no, I'm going to save it for Christmas lights. That's possibly what I was doing. So once again, just making sure that things are in place, and a spray, more spray. The isopropyl alcohol will fix it all. And another silicone stick on top, just to make sure that, you know, just to stop anything from floating up. Make sure it is silicone if you're doing any of this, because, you know, if you stick a lollipop stick on, it's going to be stuck there, and you're going to have to snap it off, and it'll be a bad thing. Now, I am sorry. I thought that I had hit record when I was doing the extras, and I did not. So I used a bit of coffee mica powder in the bottom of the one with the 3 trees, just for the trees, and then I sprayed isopropyl alcohol and emptied it in, and the Christmas tree tray sprayed, and I put in a mixture of the leftover green mica powder of lawn green, and I added then the mixture of the alcoholic. So here we are. These are all cured. So I'm demolding. I'm actually really, really pleased with these. Again, all these molds are from Temu. I did a big shop a few weeks ago, and these are just come out gorgeous. There's not a bubble in sight. And I just think I wish the camera would pick up the twinkle, because there is glitter in there, but the camera is not picking it up, and they're so pretty, and I'm looking forward to using these on another project at some point. Hold this space, but I will be using them in another project, probably one of my mixed media ones. So here it's a trinket tray, or a trinket dish, in the shape of a Christmas tree. Lovely little mould, actually. It's actually a nice size. And you see, if you look, you can see it in this mould. Put in that starry night. Look at that. Can you see that shimmer? There's other, you know, the glitter is there, but that almost like goldy green effect within it is absolutely beautiful, and I'm really pleased with that. I like that a lot. It's lovely. So off pops that. And obviously it's left a mark, but that's not a problem. That's the bottom. Don't need to worry about it. And I can just cut off. And you'll see me cutting off the over the bit that's I can't think of words. The overage? Overage, yes. The overage. So that's just really finished, just where the lollipop stick went on. I don't know why I didn't expect that, because I didn't fill the moulds right the way to the top, but I got it anyway. And of course you can snip those off. It's soft. It probably would have snapped off after a few more hours. And if you need to, they can, you can sand the bottom or use a deburring tool. So I'm happy. I wasn't sure whether to leave and mould in the other one and then show it, but I was like, no, let's have a look. Isn't it pretty? Can you see that glitter through this tree? It is so pretty. I do really love using the inks and the shimmers and the glitters, and wow. And it still works. I was so worried, but it still works. That's awesome. And it's so cool. I really love that little tree. It's really cool. I will turn the lights off after we've looked at this one as well. So again, same thing. Bit of overage on the sides. Bottom we don't need to worry about. But I'm glad I used the lollipop stick, the silicone ones, simply because it stopped any messiness with things sticking up and floating up at the top, at the bottom. Yeah. So I'm just going to snip those off. Again, quite easy. Wasn't hard at all. Didn't even, there was no strain or anything. It wasn't hard. And I will use my deburring tool because I couldn't get my scissors in close enough and it was irritating me. So I'm like, yeah, it's irritating me. Look at that. I like that. I like it. I like it a lot. Part of me thought maybe I should have used green and lawn green because they're lighter. But I really quite like this. I do like the lawn green and dark green together. Especially when you pour it with, like the split cut pour. It works really well, I think. I'm really pleased. I'm so pleased. Now, where the lights are concerned, the back of the tree doesn't show any. I was aware it might be a bit touch and go because of using the mica powder. But I also was making sure when I was stirring it, you saw me lifting up the stirring stick and looking, that I was making sure it wasn't overly thick. But what I will do next time, because I will be making more of these, I will definitely use my UV resin. Isn't it pretty? I'll definitely use the UV resin to make sure the fairy lights are, there's more of them to the sides, because that's all that's happened. They're in there, you just can't see them. But see, the back of the tree got nothing. But I suppose that's quite normal for many people with Christmas trees. They often don't decorate the back. I do. A little bit of wire showing as well, but I'm not concerned. You could always hide it somehow. You can have it disappear. Yeah, that's where the lollipop sticks were. Very good. Very good, Lou. You can always disguise it. If it's such a big issue, you could always get a green pen, or you could, attach that. You can put a little bit of tack it on, and some of the same bit of the same mica powder. But I'm really happy. I think the colours are lovely. It's a cool comparison to the other tree that's filled with the ink. But all in all, I think is lovely, and I think when the lights aren't on, it looks really good as well. Whereas in comparison, the little tree without the lights on, it looks interesting, but it's, you can see that it's filled with lights and wires. So, you know. But I'm going to use these. These are going to be used in something else. Don't quite know yet, but they will. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I love you. Stay weird. I got other plans for these too.
In a room full of colors and swirls, Nerd Goblin Art draws a magic world, with foxes that prance and badgers that dance, a whirlwind of dreams with a single glance. Gerald the alligator grins so wide, in enchanted waters he loves to hide. Dragons breathe wonder with flames so bright, each creature born from a magic night. Nerd Goblin paints life in every brush, animals frolic in a vibrant rush. From canvases to tales they leap, in a realm where fantasy meets deep. The studio's alive with swirling paint, creatures so pure they need no saint. Sketches of foxes with tails